Welcome to the AotBT. Hey there. There, that's better. Welcome to the Colonel Does Attack of the B Team. Yeah. So our motley crew does not have a name yet. I think we're getting close to one though. So thank you for joining us today. And so we've been doing some things around here. A lot of things. All right, stop moving the camera. So between the last episode and this episode, I did a lot of recording, but unfortunately, the codec, I basically I changed the format so that I could use an H2264 codec. For those of you that know anything about video, it's supposed to make the video smaller and it's supposed to be able to use the GPU on your graphics card to do the processing. Unfortunately, I use Sony Vegas, and it doesn't seem to like the new encoding. So I tried rendering it, and it just pixelated everything. So I've lost all of that footage. So basically, I'm going to quickly, or try and quickly, go through a review. It'll probably take most of the episode, but we should be able to get something done productive anyway. But let me quickly show you what's been done. So I showed you the front. That hasn't really changed much. So we've got the inside done. The paneling is done. So I like the look of this, and I love these carpenter's blocks because it lets you do the two different colors within the same block, pretty much. So I'm liking this. The setup that we had here for the furnaces, we've taken that down and moved it over that way, and we'll go down there in a second and show you that. And we've put another little round over here, and I've got plans for it, as you can see. We'll probably try and get to that today if we can, or at least set up the infrastructure in order to be able. I'll talk about it in a minute. So I've decided, I think, at this area here is that we're going to have eventually a red power thing coming up here so that we can access our inventory from here. Not red power, Project Red. So we've tried to organize some chests a little bit, and these will get moved down as well. Nothing has changed upstairs, but let me show you the back here. So we've been trying to get power set up here so that we can get some things going. We needed some wood to, finish off the first floor of the house. And so I needed to set up a tree farm. And actually, I've set up 2 tree farms in the interim. We've got a planter under here somewhere. And we have an MFR harvester here. So we've got power going to it. So these things are working great. Right now, I've got it set up for wheat, which is set up for our next project. And hopefully I'll have time to get into that. But basically, we had this set up initially for spruce trees, and then we set it up for fir trees, and man, it doesn't matter which one it is, there's just lots of lag with just having an MFR tree farm. And that kind of made me reconsider our power situation, because I was originally going to go with biofuel, but the biofuel setup would require a tree farm, and I'm just not willing to deal with the lag. So I went looking for an alternative power source that we could use that was somewhat sustainable, and I think I found one. And so before I show you that, so down here we used to have our Tinker's Construct, a smeltery, and we have moved that over that way so that we could have space to run the Project Red pipe up at some point behind the stairs, which I think are over here. So we've got this area kind of set up. We've got enough power to be able to run a pulverizer and a redstone furnace, so we can double our ores. And we've been doing just that and making a bunch of cables. So let me show you our new power situation. This way. Ta-da! So basically, we have an aqueous accumulator and a steam turbine. And the steam turbine generates 80 RF, and that is plenty. Or at least for this, anyway. We're just going to have a bank of them over here and a bank of them over here, and we're just going to run them all together. And right now, these are hardened? Yeah, so these are hardened energy conduits, and that should suffice for now. Those will allow you to do up to 400 RF, which is about 40 MJ. And that should be plenty for now. At some point, we'll probably have a setup where we can make the full-on redstone conduit, but we're not there yet. So that is the power that we're using for the pulverizer and the redstone furnace. And normally I generally, for those of you who've been following me on the Trek series, you know that I try to do things the hard way. But this is a different mod pack. This is a mod pack that is more, the focus isn't on the machines. So I don't have a problem with using something, as simple, and I've heard some people call it cheaty. I'm not going to call it cheaty because it isn't. It's just too easy. It's easy power. It's free power, really, if you think about it, because all it is water, and you're generating steam from it, just from nothing. So we're getting 8 RF, 8 MJ rather, 80 RF. So we'll just chain a bunch of these together, and so into the farm area. Actually, before we do that, so our smeltery is now on this side of the thing, and I noticed that there is another ravine running in behind it. I think I can get in there from here. Yeah, so there's another ravine going that way, and then it intersects with another ravine that goes that way. So there's lots of potential mining here. So I'm looking forward to getting down there once we've got things set up, and we've got some good weapons and tools. And you noticed at the start that I was in iron armor, and I have lost so many sets of tools. We have like a creeper infestation around here, and it's killing me, literally killing me. So I've had to redo all of my tools many times, and then with all the digging I've done, I've had to do some more diamond picks. Thankfully, with the ravines, I've been able to find some more diamonds, so we've got about 40 of them left. So even though they're easy to get, I'm still going through them like it's nobody's business. So we are trying to conserve for now until we can get some enchantments on things. Plus, there's some things that I think we can do to mitigate the creeper situation, and we'll get into that in the next few episodes as well. And we're out of food. So that sort of leads us to where we're at right now. So up here is the harvester, and we've been able to put covers over it so it hides it on the deck up there. And so we've got the item ducts coming down and into this chest here. Now, stuff is not supposed to sit in this chest, even though it looks like it is. We've put some pneumatic servos into these pipes. So these item ducts are kind of neat. I've never used them before, so I was looking forward to getting into using them here. So you wrench this to send the output out, and you generally have to put a redstone signal on here to activate it. But if you put a pneumatic servo on, it's kind of like putting, it's kind of like using the gates with the old Buildcraft pipes, where you can just automatically have a redstone signal. So that's what the case is here. So with this pneumatic servo, we can open this control window. And we've got, excuse me, we have the redstone disabled. We could also put it to low, so it just ignores the redstone signal. If you put it high, then you have to have a signal. Basically your standard interface for thermal expansion stuff. Excuse me. So we have whitelisted seeds for now. This used to be the saplings for the trees, but now it's the seeds because we need some wheat. And the reason we need the wheat is because we need food. Now, we're not going to eat the wheat, but let me get to that in a sec. Let me finish this here. So this is our chest that's sending the seeds up this way. They're getting harvested by the planter. They're getting harvested by the harvester over here, planted by the planter, and then they're running down here all of the output, which would be the seeds and the wheat, into this chest. And this guy here is really just set to pull out the wood right now, and it has pulled out a whole bunch of fur, which we're going to use to do the floors within the house here. And we're also going to set this to somehow get wheat out, and I think we're probably going to pull the wheat out here and stick it into a deep storage unit. Now, the deep storage unit is something that we had to create because we had so much spruce wood from the first tree farm, and usually you need to have some sort of ender pearls, or at least one, to make a deep storage unit. But in this pack, the deep storage unit has a second recipe that you can use, and there may have always been a second recipe. I've just never paid attention to it because I've always had ender pearls. So this would be the one that needs a tesseract frame, but we don't need that for this. In this case, we are using the strong boxes, and the strong boxes are basically a chest with tin around it. So unfortunately, when you do those, you only get one, but at least we have the resources for that since we don't have any ender pearls. So we made one deep storage unit, and we're going to make another one for the fur, and we'll make another one for the wheat. We have a bank of these guys here, steam turbines, so we are generating 4 times 80 RF, so that is what, 320 RF, which is 32 MJ. And that's going up and feeding the planter and the harvester. And to be honest, it's probably overkill for that. So the excess we're going now it actually wasn't overkill when it was a tree farm because that was going gangbusters. So we're not using the tree farm now, we're using the wheat, and that's a lot slower to go through. So the excess power we're going to use is going to go down under the floor and feed into this area here. And this is going to be our mob system. And this is our, what did I call it yesterday? I called it I think it was our sheep experimentation facility. CEF. And so what we're going to do, initially we're not going to have sheep in here because I need some leather. So we're going to stick some cows in. And basically, the cows are going to... so this will be the grinder over here. And I've done this kind of setup before as well. So the grinder will aim into this room. It'll kill whatever the adults are in this room, and then it will send the items out to a chest, probably right here, and then it will send the mob essence into some tanks that we're going to have over here. We're going to use some open tanks because we don't have railcraft. So we're going to have basically this whole room full of open tank, and it's going to go upstairs. And up there is in that little tower area. And that is where we are going to put an auto enchanter. Since I don't have a lot of books and I haven't bothered to do anything with... with sugarcane. Good lord, spit it out. I haven't done anything with the sugarcane, so we don't have paper. We don't have a lot of paper anyway. We've got tons of wood, but not enough paper. And to be honest, the time that I would spend getting an enchanting table done with that versus just setting something up over here, I might as well just go ahead and set something up over here. So that is going to go up into an auto enchanter so that we can enchant some stuff. So that'll be great. So over here we're going to have the chronotyper so that we'll get the babies from over here into there. Oh man, lots of stuff going on. And over there is where we are going to have a rancher. And the rancher is going to... Actually, you know what? What I might do, just to keep this a little cleaner, is move this over here. So this is going to be this is going to be our breeder, and we're going to basically run so we're going to have the wheat coming in here, and then we're going to have some item ducts coming out of the wheat running under the floor and feeding into the breeder so that we have wheat in the breeder. So we're going to start out with cows, and we're going to harvest the meat and automatically process that, smelt it up, and we're also going to get the leather from that so that we have leather. And then once we've got a bunch of that, a couple of stacks maybe, then we'll start converting this over into a sheep farm so that we can get the wool and be able to breed the sheep so that they can also give us more wool and some mutton. And the mutton will also feed us. So we shouldn't be hurting for food. So that is the setup that we have over here, our little animal experimentation facility. Now, in order to speed up the growth of the wheat farm, we're going to need some bone meal. And I think what I'm going to do, so we're going to have this tank here that has mob essence in it. And what I believe I am going to do is I'm going to, and I don't know where I'm going to do this, but I'm going to put in a skeleton spawner using an auto spawner, and basically just grab the bone meal. And I'm going to make that into an interesting little processing facility because we don't have really things to void items. So we're going to probably build that over on this side so that it feeds into the tank. So that's going to be a fun build, I think. So we're going to build one of those, and hopefully we'll be able to enchant some stuff. And then when we finally get some good tools, we can go down that way. I could use this guy here to make some tools, but that would mean I have to go mining for a lot more lapis because I want to get some fortune tools, and we don't have a lot of lapis, and I really want to get. I mean, you really need 450 lapis to have a fortune 3 pick, so we're not anywhere near that. So, and I don't want to waste the time, hunting for that stuff if I can, just auto enchant something. So, with the grinder working on the cows, we should be able to accumulate a bunch of that stuff. So, I think this would serve me better to work on that. And then while we're waiting for the cows to do their thing, I can either work on the mob farm, or I can work on putting the roof on the first level of the house. Or the mansion. Oh, man. I think that's the most I've talked non-stop for, about 20 minutes now? So, I want to put the roof in here so that we can at least finish off and cap off the first floor and put the walls up so that we can start getting a roof up, starting to look like a roof. So, I think what I'm going to do next in this episode, in the time that we have available, and I hope to God this renders properly, is to create our setup here and probably make some more item ducts so that we can run under the floor. See if we have enough material to make another. Actually, you know what? We probably don't even need to make one of those yet. We'll just put another chest here and just pull the wheat out into this chest, and then just pull from the chest. And then at some point we can put the deep storage unit over here and just replace it. So we should be fine. So that is the plan, man. And so I'm going to go grab some materials and start making the breeding items, the breeding stuff, the chronotyper and all that stuff, and see where we're at. Just there's so much stuff that I covered in the last episode that I'm condensing right now, and it kind of bums me out because we talked about a lot of things and a lot of things that we're probably going to need to do in the next few episodes in order to progress. And I just, one of the guys has been chatting me a little that I'm still working on my house, but I really need to get this to a point that I'm considered done with the first floor, because otherwise it'll never get done and it'll look like this for like 8 episodes, and I really don't want that. So I'm going to continue to work on that, but in the meantime, we're going to get the breeding facility up and running, so let me go grab some of that stuff and we'll be back. Alrighty, so in the time between when I cut and now, we have upgraded to 1.0.10a of Attack of the B Team, which I think includes Bibliocraft, among other things, upgrades, I suppose. So that's kind of good. Get some more building options. I've also I didn't want to place any of the Mine Factory Reloaded stuff. So basically, I also crashed and something got corrupted with the Mine Factory Reloaded blocks. So I wasn't able to play for a bit until Tib got on and tried to fix things. It looks like everything is back to normal. Thank God, because I thought I would have to rebuild most of this stuff. So I'm quite happy about that. So in the meantime, while waiting for the upgrade, I decided that I didn't want to place any blocks until that happened. So I have made them, and we're going to place them in a minute and get the farms going. But in the meantime, I just wanted to show you that I kind of dug around here. I got tired of zombies kept falling on me, and I couldn't figure out where they were coming from. So I thought, screw it, I'll just start terraforming a bit so that they can't drop in on me. And this is a work in progress because I need to flatten a lot of this stuff out to make it look the way I want it to, and we need to get this front section sorted out. I'm trying to make it look as close to the picture as I can because I like the way the picture looks. Tried some experimentation with some roof using the carpenter's blocks, and I think they're failed experiments. I don't know if I'm going to go back to the original, the vanilla Minecraft kind of stair look, or if I'm just going to make this a short roof. Haven't decided that yet, so that will be something I'll have to work on over the next while. So we did that, and so I have also gone away and grabbed some cows. So that is what we're going to work on now. Turn back in. And I also needed to grab some villagers. One of them just happened to trade coal, which is great. So we were able to get some emeralds to make, I believe it is the chronotyper, possibly? Yeah, I think it's a chronotyper that needed the emeralds. Also, Soldier, some of you might know him as Mr. Penguin, he gave me this beautiful gift. It is a pickaxe from Tinker's Construct. It's a Manulan shaft as well as a cobalt head, and I believe it's got a paper modifier or something on here. So there's still a lot more slots that we can upgrade this with. And it has Fortune 3 on it, so that's awesome. So we've used that to grab some... These guys are noisy. I might have to put a muffler in here. We used that axe, excuse me, to get some coal. So that helped us out a lot. And these things here, you might have saw it in the last clip. These are awesome. So this is a crafting station. Basically, it is the crafting grid. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. That is sweet. I had no idea. I thought this was just an adaptation of the project bench. That's cool. I didn't know it could use inventory slots that are on either side of it. That's awesome. So I didn't know that, obviously. But so what you basically do is you take a normal crafting table, stick it in a crafting grid, and you can convert it into a crafting station. And what this allows you to do is close your window without losing all your crap. So it stays in the grid, which is awesome. So definitely going to make use of that. So we have cows and we have a couple of sheep for later, and we've got a couple of empty ones. We're not able to make the reusable one because we don't have any ender pearls. So we are not going to be placing any of those anytime soon. I don't think anybody's found the end yet, so I think everybody's kind of been focused on the mods, which is kind of cool as well. All right, so let's get this set up. So I moved I believe this is the, oh, what is this? This is the breeder over here. Okay. So the breeder comes over here. So the wheat is coming in the back. And why is there no power? You know what? I think I figured it out. I don't think you can put power into the bottom. I think they have to go into the side. I think the items can come in the bottom, though. Let me try that. Okay. So, and that's going to mess me up, though, because... let's just see if it works first. Oh, man. And I should have known this, because I think I've done this before, where I put the power in the bottom and it didn't work. But I'm not positive. Okay, so let us go in the back. Yeah. All right. So let me rewire all this stuff to get the power coming in the back or the sides, and I'll be back with you in a sec. All right, we reran the cabling and did some creative wiring, and I think we've got this sorted out now. Looks like we have power to everything, which is great. And it appears as though we're not getting anything coming in the bottom, though. Oh, that's because we don't have a servo. Let's quickly make one of those. I'm going to have to zombie-proof this place. I can't hear them too often. Alright, so there is the wheat. So let's get the servo in there. Servo is installed. We're going to whitelist that. Going to disable the redstone. Stick the wheat in there. And we should see the wheat coming out. Oh, yeah, it's already gone. Should be in the breeder. Finally made it. Alright. I don't know if that's because I touched it or what, but let's just leave it at that. I don't want to mess with it anymore. Alright, do that just in case. And we'll put one up there as well. There we go. Okay, so we have our chronotyper, we have our breeder, and I think the chronotyper is set the right way. I guess we'll find out. And then we need to put the grinder in. And I know the grinder I have oriented properly, so the power comes in the left, the fluid goes out the bottom, and the items will come out the back. And let's pop this up here. And we'll probably have to put a some covers in there, just so things don't get glitchy. Place that there. So we have our system set up. So let me plug this up for now. There we go. And I don't have any glass on me, so that'll have to do for now. And of course, it would help if I put the cows in. There's a little guy. Let's see if he gets sucked out. He does. Sweet. Okay, so when he becomes an adult, he will get ground up. So we'll just stick a chest back here, and we need to stick a... start building some tanks, but we'll do that off camera, and then next episode we'll start up the mob grinder after we get a few cows slaughtered, and we accumulate a little more leather and a little more meat, and then we should be able to switch over to our sheep and hopefully find a grass block that we can put in here to get everything grassified. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. For me, this was like a 3 or 4 day ordeal, it seems, or at least it feels that way. Just from all the different things that have gone on. Part of them just server things, part of them me, part of them the Minecraft gods. But I think things are starting to come along. We have the first floor completely, well, more or less completely done. We'll start putting a roof on here, and we'll get into doing the, actually putting this farm back in place. We'll stick another harvester in and another planter. Still waiting for Tib to give me those blocks back. But we're not in a rush for that yet. We still have a bunch of wheat on hand, so we should be fine for now. So if you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, please do take care.